It's my life and I want to end it now. Not anymore, partner. Behavior is taking away your right to kill yourself. Survivors will no longer be able to attempt to unhook themselves unless certain perks or offerings are in play. The reason behind this change is to discourage going next, as they call it. Will this really fix the problem, though? I don't think so. While it will prevent players from taking themselves out of the match, it will not prevent them from trolling their allies or doing nothing for the remainder of the trial. In fact, it encourages them to sabotage their team. That way, they'll lose faster and they can move on to their next game. Behavior is addressing a symptom of the problem, but not the root cause. You have to ask why players go next. You have to see it from their perspective. And what it often boils down to is that players abandon a match when it either begins feeling hopeless or when it feels like a waste of their time. Hopelessness can't always be addressed. Sometimes one side simply dominates too much for the other side to ever catch up. Aside from balancing your game properly, for these scenarios, I would suggest implementing a surrender vote option that becomes available after certain conditions are met, such as a survivor dying or three generators popping. Now, the other reason players feeling like their time is being wasted is something that DBD is notorious for. Virtually every action in this game has a timer or loading bar attached to it. Whether you're stuck on a hook for up to 140 seconds, or bleeding out for up to 240 seconds, the game often feels like you're sitting in timeout more than you're actually playing. The main objective forces you to sit still for 90 seconds, healing takes 16 to 20 seconds, totems take 15 seconds, and let's not forget that the killer can interrupt or regress all these actions, so they take even longer. When you add all these time-consuming elements up, it's not hard to see why players would choose literal death over wasting their precious time engaging with these mechanics. So what's the solution? Well, if we want to tackle the biggest problem, it's going to require changing something fundamental about the game, and that would be the hook system. The developers need to overhaul their flawed concept of turning survivors into campable objects and revert to a more tried and true respawn system. Here's how it might work. After downing a survivor, the killer can choose to pick them up. If the killer isn't blinded or stunned during the pickup animation, a hook will descend from the sky and the survivor gets thrown onto it. The entity abducts them, makes them wait a period of time, and then they are released back onto the map for another try. This solves many issues with the current system. Killers won't be able to camp survivors because there's no hook to camp. They won't be able to tunnel survivors because they won't know where they spawned. And survivors won't potentially die on their first hook due to the negligence of their allies. Many aspects of the game would have to change to work with the new system, but I do think it would be healthier overall. Anyways, these are just my thoughts. What do you think is the best way to address the go next problem? Share your ideas in the comments below.